What is going on YouTube? Yo soy Arms back with another YouTube video. Um okay day. In terms of price reading, I had to go to the office today. So I kind of just had a very small window to trade. Um didn't really alert anything to the Discord just because of where price was currently heading and how we were moving. Let me go ahead and pull up the Discord just for you guys. So pretty much what I had just said going into the morning, I was doing commentary trading, and this is what I was saying. Um, as you can see here, super high in premium, still waiting for this low to get taken first to see what would happen, right? I'm gonna go ahead and show you that low. As you can see here, I had my premium discount equilibrium drawn out. And I also drew out the standard deviation for the most part, right? So 15-minute standard deviation from the top to the bottom right over here pretty much lines up with equilibrium of this range. So I was looking for a retracement here because I mean we're just so high up deep in premium. I wasn't really like interested in taking up any longs up here, right? I wanted to see some buy side get swept first, but we actually end up getting a very deep retracement, and I mean this retracement is absolutely crazy. Um, yeah, we just absolutely full send it. Now, in terms of actual trade potential, I was kind of just waiting for a 5 minute. Uh, Realistically speaking, waiting for maybe this 5 minute right over here to get retraced back into, and then maybe potentially continue to go lower. That doesn't necessarily happen here. It actually ends up getting cooked. Um, but people, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. So just go ahead and talk about this. People got absolutely wrecked out of this inverse fair value gap. They're like, oh, V-shaped recovery. We just stepped sell side. Um, blah 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 blah. Well, you just have to remember, yeah, this is a V-shaped recovery with just step sell side. So the model here itself is presentable, but draw of liquidity is again one of the main factors when it comes to actually, potentially taking a trade and stuff. Um, the reason why I'm seeing is because this is, don't get me wrong, the setup is presented right here, right? This is the model, V-shaped recovery, singular inverse fair value gap here after sweeping sell side. Um, Maybe we have like an untapped 5 minute here. You could have done like a mech model or something. Um, but you have to remember again, higher time frame. Where are we? Right? Where is the draw of liquidity? Well, you might be thinking this was the draw. We took out draw. Might be like some Asia lows. No, this is from earlier session, right? We swept out like overnight session lows. This is the draw, right? Well, again, I'm seeing the draw as potentially to go lower, right? I want to see price retrace back deeper into equilibrium before we actually start to do anything else. Again, I alerted the Discord. And again, I also just picked this up from Justin. Like, we hunt liquidity, so engineered highs and lows, take out overnight session, we rebalance to inefficiencies or rebalance to equilibrium of a range, right? So at this point in time, we're rebalancing into a higher time for inefficiency, rebalancing into equilibrium of this range. So again, so my draw was kind of just, lower at this point in time. So I actually ended up taking this down over here, this BPR here. And we also have a small little 1 minute for value gap here. Actually ended up taking this. Now, the reason why I took this, if you're in my Discord, I just passed some new accounts for Apex. Uh, so yeah, and that ends tomorrow. That ends tomorrow. And the thing with Apex, they're really smart about how they do things in terms of, really getting their like their whole promotions and all of that. It's 90% off, so the evals are relatively pretty cheap, but you can pass them in 1 day, but the PA fee, like the activation fee or whatever, that is only discounted during the discount sale. So the discount sale actually ends tomorrow. So that would mean I would only have tomorrow to basically full port. Give me a sec. Um, so yeah, I mean, and I think they opened the discount. Let me go ahead and check when they started the discount. I'm in their server. Promotion updates on the 27th. When was that? That was last week on the 27th. So basically mid-week, right? So that gives you Thursday, Friday, and then basically 2 days, right? So Thursday, Friday. So basically, yeah, they basically know what they're doing. Kind of just the whole full porting thing, and they're kind of max allocation 20 accounts are really cheap, and then you just have to full port them in order for you to get like the actual PA discount. So yeah, I didn't really alert this in my Discord at all. Just because again, this is not really my model. This is not really anything. But I had to take a trade in order for me to pass these accounts and just get it out of the way, right? Um. So yeah, basically ended up getting my $3,000 in profit. My draw of liquidity was this -2 to -2.5. Uh, Targeted standard deviation, or this just this equilibrium of this range here. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. So I mean, overall it's solid. I mean, I'm happy I passed the accounts. So now I'm gonna be trading on those Apex. I also have some top step accounts, so I think I might just be having both of those firms set up, and then just gonna be taking a trade. I'm just gonna be filling like if I see a trade I like, I'm gonna just put it on both top step and Apex. I don't see why not, but again, I'm gonna just be going light in size just because of the copy trading I'm gonna be doing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, but again, just overall main lesson of today is just really focusing on draw. Right, you can have a model, you can have everything, but that doesn't necessarily that all of that is just thrown out the window if your draw of liquidity is wrong. Right? You need to have a draw of liquidity, and then that's when you find the model towards that draw. Just because there's a model here after sweeping, and you thought this was your draw, I mean, it is, but realistically speaking, after seeing such displacement here, right? Like, look how strong we're moving on this 5 minute. Look how this 15 minute, right? Just absolutely just rip. Uh, Now, as realistically, I would have wanted somewhat of a better buy model or sell model happen. Maybe like get a retracement back into this fair value gap, maybe, and then like continue to go lower, or we get like the O5 model where we get that manipulation up top and then continue to go lower, right? That would have been amazing. But we don't get that. I mean, we do actually get a 15-minute retracement happen later on in the day, which is right over here. Let's go ahead and look on the 1 minute to see if there's any, actual entry here. Is there an SMT here? I don't think there's an SMT here, but I mean, you do have these inverse for value gaps. This pretty much gets inverse. You could have entered here. Stop loss at this high. And then you do have some nice slanted lows here that have not been taken out at all, right? So this would have been another pretty nice trade as well, but this is around 8 o'clock, right? So this would have been okay. And yeah, this is why I just overall like to make these videos and just go over price, just because I can see what's really happening here. I think in my head, I was like, okay, well, we're already tracing back into -2, -2.5. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna, start reversing and get a buy model to the upside, right? Break a structure here, then kind of just continue to go higher, right? That doesn't mean we're gonna be getting a buy model. Again, standard deviation, equilibrium, price is just gonna retrace to, and then after that, price could just do literally whatever it wants. Right, we can start the chop because we just had such a crazy distribution move. We can rebalance, maybe start to form a buy model, or maybe continue to go lower. Right, as you can see, price had some nice ideas, wanted to go out for these lows down over here. We did not go down for these lows. Let me go ahead and see if there is an SMT with ES. Yeah, so these lows down here has not been taken at all. We're kind of just choppy, floating around. So yeah, again, Draw liquidity, very, very important. Your model does not mean a single thing if your draw liquidity is not true, right? We're supposed to have a draw, and then that's when we look for our model. Our model is higher time frame draw, higher time frame hold, higher power. You go into the lower time frame and start to dissect price, and start getting those confirmations that enable you to believe and have more confidence that your higher time frame draw is true, right? We're using that lower time frame confirmation to potentially, catch our piece of the pie on the higher time frame towards that draw liquidity, right? So hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, starting to trade Apex accounts tomorrow and Top Step. So we'll see how that goes. Peace.